Enzorecto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Sa inyo, Senator, unahin na po natin, ano po ang reaksyon nyo to these newly discovered names that are allegedly linked to the OVP's confidential funds?
Can I be excused from reacting as I'm a potential senator judge in the impeachment?
Okay, we understand, Senator. All right, speaking of the impeachment, Senator, we all know you're the most vocal on this case. You've been pushing to follow the Constitution. At naglabas na nga po ang Senate President ng timeline para dyan. Are you happy or are you satisfied with the calendar, Senator?
Well, the calendar proposed by the Senate President still starts on June 2, 2025. So that is precisely my objection, that we could start earlier than June 2 because we do not need to wait for Senate to be in legislative session. We can always formally pa rin, we can formally and officially open the Senate as an impeachment court. So yun. So we do not have to wait for June 2, and we do not need for the President to call the so-called special session because this is what we need to hold is a Senate-only session because we do not need to inconvenience the House because the House is not the Senate it's not the impeachment court. Only the Senate is. So let us not get confused with the so-called special session, which refers to calling for a legislative session which involves the Senate and the House. What the Senate needs to do is to convene to call a Senate-only session. Senate-only, hindi na namin kailangan bulabugin pa ang House. That's why those who are justifying the situation take advantage of the term special session because that is found in the Constitution, but that refers to a special legislative session where both houses are called back to their plenary, to their session hall so that they will have session. Hindi yan yung solusyon. Ang solusyon namin is a Senate-only session, and then we will now formally declare that we are now, the body now is the Senate Impeachment Court.
Pero Senator, ahead of that special Senate session that you are planning to propose or you're pushing for, ito nga all-Senator Kokos na float nyo po 2 weeks ago, is that something you are also still trying to encourage your colleagues at the Senate to do?
Because of the differences of opinions, I suggested the calling of a caucus so that we can preliminarily discuss the issue. Eh, nakalipas ng mahabang panahon na rin. I think 2 to 3 weeks have already passed since my original proposal. So we are wasting a lot of time. And we have been debating forthwith. Alam mo yung word na forthwith na nasa Constitution?
Yes.
Yes, just for the word forthwith, we have already spent 1 month. So, nakalipas na isang buwan. Wala pa rin
I agree, Senator, no?
Wala pa rin action.
Ang daming debate, discussions already on the term forthwith. But as we understand, we were interviewing also different legal luminaries on that matter. At sabi naman po nila kasi, the power still ultimately falls on the Senate because you will be serving as the impeachment court. Pero matanong ko na lang din po, Senator, no, you previously offered to help draft the impeachment rules para dito, for the impeachment proceedings. Where are you in terms of that, Senator?
Tapos na.
Tapos na po.
Tapos na. I will I just need to print it out and then maybe sign a cover letter and give it to the majority leader and the Senate President. Actually, I did not offer to draft the rules. I was just challenged by the majority leader, Senator Tolentino, who should actually be the one in charge, but maybe he's too busy campaigning. So, kaya nga. But madali lang naman. At saka, ang point ko, they diverted the attention to the rules as if the rules were the problem. Hindi. Yung the existing Senate rules, nakasuccessfully nakasuccessfully try o nakasuccessfully hold na yan ng isang at least one impeachment case. So, the existing rules did not pose as a problem or an obstacle. But anyway, I have made some improvements. But meron din ako ibang idea doon, but baka they will not accept it. But of course, I will propose it.
Senator, can you give us an idea of some of these changes that you are proposing? And how quickly did you draft these rules?
Maybe 2 days, two actual days of discussions with my staff. But of course, they have been studying the rules for siguro weeks na. Tsaka I've been studying the rules even in the Corona trial. So familiar na po ako doon. There are some words there that don't mean anything or are confusing, or maybe we can call them old English. So i-update na po natin yun. Let's use ordinary English.
Senator, when the impeachment court of the Senate convenes, this is a quasi-judicial body, right? It won't really serve as a judicial court. But are the rules similar to that of a judicial court, Senator?
As much as possible, we should make the procedure and proceedings of the impeachment court look like the procedures and proceedings before the trial courts. As much as possible. We should not be too far or too strange from court proceedings. Wag ganon, kasi this is actually the Constitution uses the word trial. And that is really the business of courts, di ba? So, wag tayo masyadong lalayo dun. And the parties, the House designated a panel of prosecutors. The impeached official is entitled to counsel. So most likely, the persons appearing for the House and for the impeached official would be persons who also appear before the court. Ganun yun eh. So let us not invent too strange a procedure or a proceeding. So ganun lang tayo. We will look like a court proceeding, but since ang sinabi ng Constitution, trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed, ang aking proposal is we do away with preliminary hearings or preliminary steps which delay or defer the date of the trial. Because if we really look at the spirit of the Constitution, mag-trial na agad. So trial na. Tanggalin na natin yung after. So we will give the impeached official the chance to answer, to file his or her answer. And then we will require, ito yung medyo new feature because I want, in my proposal, I want the impeached official to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to each article of impeachment. Okay, hindi clear yan hindi yan clear sa present rules. But the present rules require the attendance or the presence of the impeached official, especially on the first day. So there must have been a reason bakit, di ba? So because the impeached official will be excused for the other trial dates. So okay ka na, you can opt not to attend, but of course you will be represented by your counsel or your lawyer. So, but on the first day you're required to attend. So there must be a reason why we are requiring you to attend. So yun na lang, nilagay ko yung reason, and it will now look like a court trial, diba? More on the criminal trial side. That the impeached official will now be asked to enter his or her plea for each article of impeachment. And then I'm recommending that we do away with the reply. The panel of prosecutors do not need to reply to the answer of the impeached official, because what's the point? Nag-file na sila ng articles of impeachment, dapat comprehensive na yun. And allowing a reply will only delay the trial. The trial shall forthwith proceed. So ganon. So and then sa pronouncement ni Senate President, he keeps on mentioning judicial affidavit. Ako naman, I think kasi sa trial sa korte ngayon, the direct testimony is in the form of a written form, in a form of a judicial affidavit. Pero since itong impeachment is once in a blue moon lang naman ito and then this is public interest proceeding. So if the people will watch the trial where the direct testimony is in a judicial affidavit form, they will not be able to follow the story. So we will still require the submission of affidavits by the witnesses, but they will be presented the old way, the old style. Direct testimony, question and answer from counsel. So verbal. Yes. So those watching the proceedings can follow.
Yes.
So mga ganon. So marami tayong mga ibang ideas doon, but ano lang yun, just a little improvement na lang.
I just wanted to repeat what you said, Senator. One of the things that you're proposing, and I think this is quite important to highlight, is yun nga, the impeached official needs to answer to each article kung guilty or not guilty. But Senator, I also wanted to know, dito po kunwari sa mga confidential funds, itong mga pangalan na nahahanap na wala namang makitang record sa PSA, will she be compelled to disclose the identities, the real identities? Let's say kung ang ginamit lang po is fake na pangalan, will the impeached official, in this case the Vice President, need to disclose the identities here in the impeachment proceedings?
Lord, hindi connected yan sa entering a plea kasi you're talking about evidence already. So, pagdating sa evidence, it's the burden now of the panel of prosecutors. Ang tawag ata dyan is the burden. The burden of proof. If you allege something, you prove it. Ngayon, once na na-prove na yan, at gustong i-rebut or i-disprove ng affected party, then they will now have to present their evidence to overcome the evidence of the prosecution. So ganun lang yan. I'm just describing a normal court proceeding.
Okay.
That is the burden of proof. When you say
on the prosecution,
when you allege,
yes.
Basic ito. Pati sa defense, pati sa impeached official, when you're alleging something, you prove it. So, ganun lang yan.
No, I'm asking, Senator, because sinabi naman po ni VP Sara, di ba, na she cannot disclose their identities kasi nga mga alias yan, mga informants yan. So that's why she didn't really disclose yung identities kahit sa mga House hearings. So I was wondering if she will be compelled now in an impeachment proceeding to disclose that. But okay, Senator, we're running out of time, but I also wanted to ask you something on a different matter. Senator Riz Ontiveros has said that she will nominate you po to serve as a member of the Commission on Appointments once Congress resumes on June 2. What are your thoughts on that, Senator? And can you share us more details on that?
Well, I thank Senator Riz Ontiveros for being so gracious and allowing me to spend a little time, siguro just a month with the Commission on Appointments, just in case there were ad interim appointments made and to be submitted to the Commission on Appointments. So, yun lang po, because dapat kasi yung CA sharing kami ni Senator Risa sa 3 years, 1.5 years siya, 1.5 years ako, but hindi ko na po, I did not ask for my 1.5 years. I let her stay in the Commission on Appointments. So she's giving me at least the last month, just in case there have been ad interim appointments made by the President.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog.